Grand Rising, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful night, wonderful evening, wonderful morning. Uh, I just wanted to come on real quick, and as you can see, the sun is coming up. Well, you can't really see where the sun's coming up because I think it's coming over from that side, but you can see we're getting that nice blue color. It's been all gray here lately because we've been having a bit of a storm, lots of rain, which we definitely need. I'm here in California, so we've got this drought going on, and I don't know if you can hear it, but the wind is like shaking my trailer, so it's actually kind of nice. It's not like violently shaking it, but it's nice because when I go to bed sometimes, like it feels like I'm being rocked around, like I'm in a cradle or something. But yeah, anyways, so I wanted to talk about ego traps in the spiritual process, and I wanted to give my experience because I feel like that's really all I can do is I can give you guys my experience, share with you some of my perspective, and if it resonates with you, then it resonates with you. But if not, you can just completely leave it here. That's totally okay with me. I don't, I just want to help people by sharing my own experience, by giving little bits of information that I've learned throughout my journey so far. And I still have a long way to go, so don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm some like spiritual guru or anything like that. Um, but anyways, I wanted to talk about the ego traps. And it's so funny how easily someone gets trapped in one of these thought patterns. I'll give you guys an example. You'll notice a lot of the times in the New Age community, you'll have those people who go vegan. And let me just preface by saying this, that I have nothing wrong with going vegan. I have nothing wrong with that lifestyle. I have nothing wrong with, you know, because if anything, I have a lot of respect for those people because it's not easy to just cut out the meat, and it's not easy to just those people are so empathic. It's honestly kind of beautiful. But what you'll see a lot of the time, at least from my experience, and maybe I did this a little bit when I started going vegan, is I had this idea that vegan was like the ultimate spiritual diet, that this is what was going to take me to the next level, that I was going to like transcend into like, well, I didn't literally think that just going vegan was going to make me transcend into some light being. I'm just kind of saying this as a metaphor. But like, I had this feeling that veganism was like the higher vibrational diet, and that eating meat was like the lower vibrational diet, and that eating meat was like bad, and if you ate meat you're just like a low vibe person, and that if you ate vegan then you're like a super high vibe spiritual person, and that's the kind of people I wanted to be around. So you have those people, and then like the same thing with like yoga. Oh yeah, like I practice yoga. Do you do yoga? Oh no, I don't. Oh, that's too bad. You know what I mean? Like, there's like this like superiority, like hierarchy type thing that we've got. Oh, if you don't do yoga, if you're not vegan, oh, you do psychedelics. Oh, like I think that the judgment is what's holding us back, and that the most, we shouldn't even be talking about what is the most spiritual, like what is and isn't spiritual. I feel like everything is spiritual at its core. It's like, it's just that we have these ideas of what spirituality is and what spiritual means. You know, like when someone says I'm spiritual, they could be saying that they worship Satan, or they could be saying that they worship God. It's like all the same thing, you know what I'm saying? It's all spiritual. But like, what is your definition of spiritual? How do you define spirituality in your mind? If you think that spirituality is this like superiority hierarchy game where you're like, oh, whoever doesn't eat meat, whoever does yoga, whoever does meditation, whoever opens their chakras, like whoever's like, oh yeah, super spiritual. then they're at the top, and then you have these unawakened sheep that are on the bottom that eat meat, that follow the mainstream news, that uh, they don't do yoga, they don't do any kind of breath work, they don't do any of that, and that that way of thinking, I just kind of received this right now. That way of thinking is creating even more separation. And isn't that what a lot of these people are trying to escape from? Is the separation, but they're creating it in their own mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could easily just right now like get into that space. I can feel it right now. And I'm not enlightened, or I mean, I've had enlightening experiences, I've had heightened experiences, but I wouldn't by any means call myself enlightened or awakened. I mean, I might be enlightened to some things and awakened to some things, but in the like totality of my being, I'm not enlightened. I mean, I still have an ego. I'm talking from my ego right now. I can be aware of myself doing it, but I can feel that space, and using these sort of concepts and these uh, practices to put yourself on a pedestal and think, oh, everybody who is on this level that's below my level, then they're not as spiritual as me, and I don't want anything to do with them because, I only want to hang out with good vibes, enlightened people. So these traps are they're actually very beneficial for our learning and for our growth. I feel like there's nothing wrong really with getting trapped in these thought patterns, because I mean, in reality it's just an experience. But if you can get to a point where you can see it, I kind of started thinking about this when I listened to one of Phil Good's videos. I can't remember exactly which one he was talking about, but he was talking specifically about how, he himself, he doesn't really like, he doesn't like going out to bars and getting drunk and watching sports, but he could understand somebody who's doing that because it's like a paradigm to get involved in and extract information from. So that's kind of the way that I've been trying to look at it. Is it's like there's nothing wrong with any of these things, but it's just that we have to remember that we are not any of that at the core of who we are. It's just like we're all one, we're all playing with each other. We're all having this subjective experience, and it's like these these ways of thinking that if you're up here you're more spiritual, and if somebody's down here and they're eating meat and they're not doing yoga, then they're not as spiritual as you. Like, that's just creating more separation. So I think that the best thing to do is just move into that neutral space of observing without attachment, and so we can love people despite our differences in our opinions and our ways of living. You could have somebody that's like super, like super stoner, like druggy type, and then have somebody on the other end who's like more of your classic like spiritual person who maybe does a lot of reading into like Buddhism and stuff like that, and maybe they're like really heavy on their practice, and these two people could still hang out and they could click. It doesn't matter that they're seemingly different. They can click, and they do click. It's just that we forget it. It's like we're all connected. We never separated. It's just that we're having this experience for our own evolution, for our own growth. At least that's the way that I see it. But anyways, I just wanted to make this quick video because this is something that's helped me a lot in trying to stay humble. I'm still very egotistical in some ways, and I want to work on that. I want to start acting, and I am beginning to act more through my higher self, but it's a practice. It's like, sometimes I get lost in my ego, and that's okay. I'm not going to judge myself for it because everyone does it. Like, it's all just about learning and growing and experiencing. I really think that that's pretty much like the only reason to life is to grow and to learn and to have experiences and extract from our experiences. So if you are doing any of those things, then you're on the right path, and that's all you could be doing. So you are on the right path. There's no wrong path, there's no right path. You're always on the highest timeline, always. So love you guys. I gotta go charge my phone, and I don't really have anything to do today because I'm off work. I'm probably going to clean up a little bit and organize, but I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you spread love to yourself, to others. I hope that you can remember that we're all one and begin to act as if that is your reality, because it is, but you know, just try to like uphold that in your own being. So I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Peace.